Christina Swanson, aka Getty Girl here. I just wanted to show you my Christmas tag swap with Tamika's group. And this is what I did. I knew that I wanted to do a shaker card of some sort. Was going to do the snow globe, and that one gets done quite a bit. So I decided I was going to find something, a Santa that I could try to manipulate into a shaker. So I found it. I went to svgcuts.com, and of course it didn't fail me at all. For $6.99. There's quite a few in that package, different types of things. A card. I think there was a 3D element of some sort. And then I think there's just a Santa card and so forth. And the thing about with SVG cuts, if you've never used it, everything comes sized already. So all you have to do is basically upload it into Cricut, Design Space, and then cut. Well, with this particular one, obviously well, not obviously, but this was a card on a card base, and I didn't want to do a huge tag, so I had to resize all the elements down, and so these pieces do not come grouped together, so you have to literally group them together and then resize everything, and then ungroup them again. So that was fun. I kind of knew that. What I didn't know how to do was how was I going to make or manipulate this into a shaker. So I relearned the slicing technique. I haven't used it in a while, so I wasn't sure if that was going to work, and it did. And so I was pretty excited because I used the circle shape to slice this part out. So super cool. So what I did was I resized all of this down to a tag size, and then I was ready to rock and roll. What I did was I cut the postage stamp 3 times, two for the front and back of the tag, and then I cut it 1 time with the chipboard. And of course, with the chipboard, you want to use the deep cut blade. So, anyways, it gives it that nice sturdy backing. And so I did that, and then I cut all of the layers with my Cricut. I didn't cut, I got a little lazy. I wasn't going to use my trimmer because I wanted to make sure that I had the right proportions, since I did spend the time to group all of those together and downsize it. So I went ahead and cut all these pieces from the Cricut, including the basic squares or the rectangles. And so why not? I could do something else, right? So anyways, I did that. So I've got the red, I've got the chocolate. I went ahead and again use Old Stash and use Brads. I don't think I see Brads in a lot of projects anymore, but I still love the hardware. So I incorporated that. And then these pieces is basically a paper piecing. And if you're familiar with paper piecing, you know it's just layers and layers. They're not separate elements. So this is not just a hat. This whole thing is red underneath. And then you have the skin tone, which is covered, not as far up as here, obviously, but all this down below is skin tone and so forth and so forth. And so, again, more layers makes it a little bit more sturdier of a project. So that's good with me. Um, so, and the reason why I mention that is because of the skin. This element, if I wouldn't have put the white piece down, it would have showed the skin that would have come through because it is a paper piecing type picture. And so, anyways, just sorry, I just lost my train of thought. So what I also had to do was with the beard, I went ahead and cut the beard 4 times, twice with cardstock and 2 with the Cricut Craft Foam. The one thing with the Cricut Craft Foam on the instructions, it doesn't tell you to use the deep cut blade. So I did have to experiment with that a little bit. I did use my regular blade. It didn't cut through. And so I decided to switch to my deep cut and it cut through. So I just wanted to give you that as a little tip that the instructions on the package does not say switch to your deep cut blade. So FYI. So the reason why I use 2 cardstocks is I have a craft foam and then I have the cardstock and then craft foam and the cardstock is how I have this built up. When I did the slicing, I didn't take into consideration that the craft foam was going to be pretty flimsy, so I wanted to make sure there was enough structure in place to do this, and so I wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to fall apart. So that's why I kind of gave it more stability. I built this up. I decided to use, so all the white pieces, I went ahead and ran through my embossing machine. I chose a really detailed embossing folder, which was an Anna Griffin embossing folder. I think you guys all know that use Anna Griffin, that a lot of her stuff is pretty detailed. And so I wanted to make sure that there wasn't an empty spot that wasn't embossed. So I ran all those pieces through there, and so the bottom piece that's down below the elements that I used to cover the skin tone, I just left that plain, or not plain, but what I meant by plain is I didn't wing Stella it. So anyways, I left that alone and just kind of embedded down below, so that way I can cover that skin tone. And when I built this up, obviously it's about a quarter of an inch thick. I had to go ahead and build up the nose as well, and of course his snowball at the end of his hat. So I needed to make sure everything was kind of at the right height. I think it's kind of cool though, because in the beard, usually with beards they kind of puff out on a face anyway, so that kind of helped, puffs away his eyes, away from his eyes and stuff. So I really loved how that turned out. I was pretty pleased with it. Let's see. After I put everything together, I decided to go ahead and use Wink Stella, and I Wink Stella all the white elements of this. And then I thought, I really love how that shimmers. I'm going to shimmer the rest of the card. So I had to cover this little piece up with another circle just to kind of mask it. And then I went ahead and used Shattered Angels diamonds. So I think I always use the diamonds on all of Tamika's projects for some reason or another. I know the girl likes bling, so maybe that's why. So I think that is it. Oh, I did shade around all of the white just to kind of give it a little bit more of a 3D effect too. So give it some shading there. And I think that's it. No, of course it's never it. The Baker's Twine I found at Dollar, or not Dollar, but at Target's Dollar Spot is what I meant to say. And so it's really pretty, and I thought that worked really well. And then I went ahead and added some little fine glitter there too, because I had glued this, and I thought, well, why not put some glitter on that as well? And that's it. And then how the packaging is going to come, I decided to package in these clear envelopes. These are good for like if you're doing like craft bazaars, and that's what I had bought these for a couple of years ago. I was using them for my cards, and so I had some left over, and I wanted to move stash, and so I decided that's how these were going to be packaged. I got these from clearbags.com a while ago, and I think they still sell them. And so anyways, I added some grass here, and of course the tag, and then some wiry ribbon, again moving. That was the end of the spool, so that's kind of cool because it was kind of a big the cardboard's big, but there wasn't a lot of ribbon on it, so that worked out. And then I decided to use I had actually bought these for this purpose, these pendants. I thought they were really pretty. They've got 4 diamonds in it, 4 diamonds. And I thought that would be kind of fun to add to the packaging. So whoever in my group, when my group receives this, they could actually take this off and actually wear it as a pendant. It's super pretty with the silver and, like I said, with the little diamonds in the middle. So super pretty. Or they could actually just use that as a tag alone. So kind of like 2 tags in one. And I think that's it. Seriously, I think that's it this time. So hopefully, hopefully my group will like what they receive, and hopefully they're able to give that to somebody special. And that's it. Until next time, thanks for watching.